Hi, this is Aronow reporting from Copenhagen as part of the Expedition Copenhagen team. I'm here with Stonyfield Farm and the Will Steger Foundation, and an amazing and talented group of 12 youth delegates from across the Midwest. Right now we are preparing for the conclusion of the negotiations as they wind to a close. It's been very heated in the COP15. Countries are debating over whether to go forward, as hundreds of heads of state, including President Obama, begin to arrive today. Today and tomorrow are going to be a critical moment in deciding whether or not a treaty can be forged. Unfortunately, NGO observer organizations and youth delegates have been progressively shut out of the process throughout the week. On Monday, 45,000 were allowed entrance, and that's been scaled down every day this week, down to today only 300 observers are being allowed into the conference, and tomorrow it's only going to be 90. This has led to a lot of concern that there is not a good process of observation by members who have a say in how these negotiations end up. For example, youth have a critical role to play in the future of these negotiations. For example, in the year 2050, people my age there's a strong likelihood we'll still be alive. This is not just a theory; this is reality. And on that note, I'd like to introduce Will Steger, polar explorer and head of our delegation. He's going to tell us a little bit about his impressions of the negotiations so far and his hope for what do we do next? What do we do after Copenhagen? I hope you enjoyed the interview. I did, and stay tuned. Hi, Will.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. We're gearing down here. It's the last couple of days at Copenhagen. Obama comes in tomorrow, so we're going to see here what kind of a deal is going to be consummated on this. But what's important are the 100 of the top world leaders are coming together. And we may not get the treaty that everybody's hoping for, but I really believe it's going to be a start of something. And what I see what's different than any other negotiations that happen around the environment or climate is the seriousness. The countries, especially the United States this year, very strong delegation. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be a beginning of something that's going to be very important.
And I guess another question I have for you, Will, is what are some things that you've done while you've been here at the conference? Have you had any really interesting conversations with people at the conference, with delegates?
Well, I've been here for almost 2 weeks, and what's been important to me is being with the delegates here. There are 12 youth from the Midwest. It's pretty incredible. I'm very impressed with their work. For one, they're up at 6 o'clock every morning, unlike bad rap young people get, and they work until usually about 2 in the morning, and everybody's totally committed here. We've taken in a number of meetings with the delegations. There's a lot of opportunities here. And the important thing, too, this isn't just an event for the 12 of us. Everyone is communicating back home, various blogs, Twitter, within our K-12 curriculum, media, radio, print. So we are communicating back what the reality is, because we are the reporters here. I look at the news, the national news in the United States. We get from here from CNN and a couple other outlets. It's amazing how just a thin veneer what the people on the outside are seeing. They see a protest, which was really a very minor thing, and then they see a deadlock. But on the inside, we see a much different picture. We see a lot of concerted effort. Real hardcore negotiations, because this is an extremely complex issue. It's one rule doesn't fit all here, because we're dealing with all peoples of the world. We're looking at the economy. We're looking at the future of the youth. So it's of course we're going to have deadlocks and that, but what's important here is the negotiations are going on, and a lot of this, of course, is behind closed doors. What we see in the front end of it is just a face of really the seriousness behind the scenes. So being a realist, I see this as a very important beginning. And like as negotiations go, at first you get a small bite of the apple, and that first bite is the most important thing. And for the first time, we're going to penetrate the skin of that apple. And then from there, a whole system is going to be set up where these negotiations and talks will carry on throughout the years. And I think the next formal meeting will be in Mexico City probably a year from now.
And so you said that you feel hope. You feel hopeful about the next step. What happens after Copenhagen? What can we do back in the United States?
Well, of course, I mean, the ending isn't, this isn't a rock and roll concert where we have a great period of time. We are having a good time here, but we all have our individual assignments. I mean, our 12 delegations here are committed to working in the climate issues. This is various from within the media and education, within policy itself. So our work is just beginning, and the work never ends because this issue is going to continue on. And but the important thing for me is that what's important here is the Midwest. And the Midwest, what's boiling down to this, as I see it right now, it's our domestic policies that are going to determine the policy here for the rest of the world. In the United States, I feel what's going to determine our domestic policy on climate is going to be the Midwest. And what's going to swing the Midwest is the organizations of the youth of the Midwest, because they see this very clearly. They understand the science of it. They understand that this is their future, and they also understand by collective action that we can make a very strong political presence by educating, the world around us and getting policies that are going to be the best for our economy in the Midwest. The Midwest, probably more than any area in the world, is going to benefit from these new renewable energies, new conservation that comes on, because we are really at the breadbasket of all these various energies. So, and the youth also understand the future economy. That this is the direction. This is the hope for their economy and their national security. And it's all really in one basket right here. And what I'm very impressed with, as always, with the delegations that I've been working with the youth, is they're not taking on this as a real political issue of fighting left against right. They see through that. They see that this is really above politics, although it is a big political issue in the United States. It's not so much here in Europe. But we're taking really a middle mainstream stance on this. We're looking at the real science behind this, which is not really in question among the youth that we work with here. But we're looking at solutions here. We're looking at solutions in the economy, and we're looking at a secure United States by becoming energy self-sufficient in the future in their lifetime.
Thank you so much, Will. I just wanted to say one more thing, is that we couldn't really be on a real expedition with you without any snow. And if we look outside, out the window of the apartment past the rose, or the flower on the table, you can see that it snowed last night. And if you remember the earlier Stonyfield interview, when Michael Colville-Anderson was talking about the bikeways, you can see that as he mentioned, the bikeways got plowed before the streets. So I just had to add that in there.
Yep, it's good to have snow again. We've had 12 days here of the Midwest we call miserable weather with no snow, and right around 42 degrees and always cloudy and dark. So yeah, it makes me more anxious to get back to Minnesota and got some cool weather.
I'm missing the snow back home.
Hey, thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Phil.